So NumPy is a Python package which stands for Numerical Python. It is the core library for scientific computing which contains a powerful n-dimensional array object, provide tools for integrating C and C++. So basically NumPy provides us that library which is used for mathematical calculation, and it basically deals with this n-dimensional array. Okay, so the numerical computation it's specifically designed for this part. It is also useful in linear algebra, random number capability, etc. NumPy array can also be used as an efficient multidimensional container for generic data. So these are the things that we'll find in NumPy. First of all, we'll find an n-dimensional array that is called as ND array. It is an efficient multidimensional array providing fast array-oriented arithmetic operation and flexible broadcasting capabilities. So usually, like suppose if you are from any other programming background, maybe C, C++ or Java, if you are creating any array, if it is a even if it's a one-dimensional array, and suppose you want to add two arrays, then what you are going to do, you will have to apply some kind of for loop, then pick up first element from both the arrays, add them, and then store it in the third array. So that kind of coding you have to do whenever you are using even for one dimensional array. I'm saying if it's a two dimensional array, you will have to use two for loops. If it's a three dimensional array, then again three for loops will come into picture. So that way we have to do the mathematical calculation, but it has been highly simplified in case of NumPy. So we have that library. Using that, if I have two arrays, I can simply write a plus b and add the two arrays. Whether it's one dimensional, two dimensional, or three dimensional, any dimensional array, we can directly go ahead and perform the mathematical calculation. And it provides fast array object array oriented arithmetic operations. So whatever operations we have, we can do using this NumPy. Mathematical functions for fast operations on entire arrays of data without having to write loops. So this is the point I was explaining. Means whatever operations you have to do, you don't have to apply the loop because it has been that operation is inbuilt now in the NumPy module. Tools for reading or writing array data to disk and working with memory mapped files. So you can even read or write data from the file, or if you have an array, you can store that array into the file. Linear algebra, random number generation, Fourier transform capabilities. All these operations are possible using NumPy library. It is a C API for connecting NumPy with libraries written in C, C++, Fortran. So it provides a lot of APIs for performing these operations. One of the reasons NumPy is so important for numerical computations in Python is because it is designed for efficiency on large arrays of data. There are a number of reasons for this. NumPy internally stores data in a contiguous block of memory, independent of other built-in Python objects. So whenever you are storing data using NumPy array, it will be stored in contiguous memory block. So always remember, whenever the data is contiguous, means you know, right? It is in one straight line the data will be stored. So if that is the kind of layout, then that may provides a very rapid or random access facility, and also the access is very fast. NumPy's library of algorithm written in the C language can operate on this memory without any type checking or other overheads. So there is no need of any type checking. Directly we can go ahead and perform the operation. NumPy arrays also use much less memory than built-in Python sequences. So we have studied the list concept. So if you are using the data using a list in Python, that will consume more memory, and if the same data is stored in NumPy array is going to consume much less memory as compared to Python list. So that is one very big advantage. Means both in terms of speed plus in terms of memory, NumPy array is much more efficient than any other data structure that we use. NumPy operations perform complex computations on entire arrays without need for Python loops. So there are so many different operations that has been defined in the library that we can directly use, and there is no need to apply any loops. One of the key features of NumPy is its n-dimensional array object or ND array, which is fast, flexible container for large data sets. So it focuses mainly on the ND array. Arrays enable you to perform mathematical operation on whole blocks of data using similar syntax to the equivalent operation between scalar elements. NumPy array is powerful n-dimensional array object which is in the form of rows and columns. So whenever we are saying n, this is actually 2D array when you have the data in the form of rows and columns. We can initialize NumPy arrays from nested Python list and access its elements. So while creating NumPy array, we will see there are so many different ways of creating NumPy array. So we can create it by using the various Python data structures also we can use to create the NumPy array. So what is a multidimensional array? So in case of a multidimensional array, we have like this is row and this is column. So this is a two-dimensional array that we have. So sometimes the third dimension will also come into picture. That will make it n-dimensional array. So here, so I hope you all are okay with this structure, right? This is the first row and first column. So if it is the first row, first column, we refer to it as 0, 0. Always the row index comes first followed by column index. That is why you can see this is 0, 0. Then this one is 0, 1, 0, 2. This is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. This is 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3. Like this we'll have the 3, 2, sorry. Now, let's go ahead and see how to create or use NumPy array. So, I have this Jupyter notebook with me. So, first of all, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to import the NumPy library. So, import NumPy as np. After this, for creating the array, one of the simple technique would be np.array. And in a pair of simple brackets, within a list format, please remember this array, when you see this is an inbuilt method, okay, inbuilt library, it's like a constructor we are using to create the array object. This constructor will accept only one parameter. समझ में आ रहा है ना, इसको एक ही पैरामीटर चाहिए, मतलब आप इसको ऐसे नहीं दोगे. If you pass it like this, it is like considered as 3 different parameters, okay? So just put it as one parameter only. Pass it as one parameter. So here we are passing a list as a parameter for creating this array. And if you go ahead and print this, sorry, I need to import the library first. And then when we run this, so this is the output to be get. If you want to create a two-dimensional array, so look how we are creating a two-dimensional array. This outer bracket, you can see this outer bracket. Inside this first one is my first row, second row and third row. So whenever you will see two brackets, that means it is now a two-dimensional array. So here you can see 10, 20, 30 is my first row, then 11, 22, 33, and then this one. This is my second array. So I hope you understood this point. Now, if you want to calculate the size, means we are comparing it with normal array and we'll try to understand how NumPy is beneficial as compared to normal array. So let's just take this example. We have a range method. Range method comes from Python. What this range method is going to do? Do you know what range method returns? Vijay?
Till that 999 it will return.
Yeah. So if I write here range and let me just print this value. So what do you observe? You can see it returns the range object itself. Okay, basically it doesn't return any direct value. Values in range, yeah. So you get a value, but you actually will get a range object. If you want the elements, you have to actually iterate through it. So I have to write like this. We used it in for loop, right? I hope you remember that. Then I say print I. Understood, Vijay? Is that okay, Vijay?
Yes, yes, okay.
Huh? So this is how we are using the range object. Okay, I'll just remove this so we don't need it. Okay. So here we are using the range object and without NumPy, we are using sys dot get size of 5 into length of s. because S is containing that range of numbers. So here we are assuming there are 1000 numbers and into 5 we are doing. So some mathematical calculation we are doing to evaluate how much size this will consume. Okay, so if you are using sys dot get size of, this is an inbuilt method we are using to get the size of any element. So when you are passing 5 is a numeric data. Numeric data means we can say it's an integer. So to an integer, I am multiplying this with length of s. So what is the length of s we will get? Length of s is 1000. Can we say this? Because we are going to get 1000 elements. So this is basically 1000 into size of an integer. Okay, that is what we are printing. And after that, come to this section. Here we are using np.arange. So let me just print this one. 1 minute. If you write this np.arange, here we are not using the range method, we are saying arange method. And then if you try to print d, what output you are going to get, you just see. Can you see this? The difference, I showed you both the outputs, right? I showed you the output of both the things. In the range method, you are actually getting the range object. Directly, you are not getting the values. So to get the value, you have to iterate to get the value. But when you are using the arange method, then you are directly getting it in the form of an array. And you can see this. And let me also apply the type method. I hope you remember the type method. It will tell us the data type of D. So here we can see it returns it in the form of an ND array type. Got it? The difference between, here actually I am explaining the difference of range and arange method. So range method returns the range object, and the arange method will actually return an ND array itself with the specific set of elements. So this is directly usable. I can directly go ahead and use this data. Okay, so now what I'm trying to say is, using range, whatever data we had obtained, we tried to calculate its size. And using arange method, we are applying 1000 over here, and then to this 1000, so what do you see here? D dot size when you apply. This I will be explaining with the array, NumPy arrays. We can use the size method to calculate the size of the array. And here we are writing D dot item size. So so here you can see what a complex method we are using to calculate the size. But here in NumPy, we have D dot item size method that will give us the size of individual item. So if you calculate this, if you run this code, what you get is, without NumPy, the size you can see is 28,000. Whereas using NumPy, you got the size as 4,000. So there's a huge difference between the two. Okay, so in terms of size, we will say NumPy is very good, very efficient as far as size is concerned. Got it? This point?
Okay. No, but why you multiply with 5 over there, that I didn't understand.
Sorry?
That get size of in bracket you have given 5.
Anything, any number you can use. Some numeric data, that is to indicate it's an integer. See,
Okay.
if I am just using this one, length function, right? This is an empty section I've used now. See, if I am writing print, and if I write length of s, where s is my range method. If I try to run this, what do you observe here? How many elements this range method is going to have? That is 1000. But 1000 is not telling me what is the size of individual element. So we are assuming any array of type integer, what will be the size in Python?
Okay.
So in Python, what I have to do is I have to multiply it with size of integer. Okay. Understood, right? So
Yes.
for size of integer, this is the method we can use. So what I can do is I can simply write x is equal to some number. So actually I have to calculate the size of x.
Okay, got it, ma'am.
I'll just have it so that you can work with it. So this is how you can calculate the size. But here it is, you can see, even in coding part, it is highly simplified the way we apply it. Okay, and plus we got the difference in the terms of size. Now let's come in terms of speed. Again, let's assume we are taking a very big size we are saying suppose 1 lakh, then range size 2 we are taking L1 and L2. Now here np dot a range size a1 a2, these are the two arrays we are having using the a range method. Now see this one, time dot time, that means we are just fixing up the current time, this is the starting time. After that we are performing some mathematical operation. Okay, don't bother of what operation is going on, something we are doing. So here zip operation is being carried out with both the arrays. That means how many times this loop is going to iterate, that will be depending on the size parameter. And now after this operation is over, we are trying to print the size again, means time again. So time dot time, this will give us the current time minus that was the start value. समझ में आया ना, ये ऑपरेशन के पहले का टाइम स्टैम्प हमने लिया, and after this operation is over, then again we are applying the same mathematical this operation, इससे हमको current time मिलता है. So current time minus the start time will give us the total time of execution of this task. समझ में आया ना, ये क्या है इस पे ज्यादा ध्यान मत दो क्योंकि ये बाद में आएगा हमको. हाँ, ये आप समझ जाओ, दिस इज गोइंग टू गिव अस द स्टार्टिंग टाइम ऑफ द ऑपरेशन. समझो अभी 10 बजे ये ऑपरेशन स्टार्ट हुआ, कौन सा, ये वाला. फिर जैसे ये खत्म होगा तो फिर से हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं कि अभी क्या टाइम हो रहा है. समझो 10:10 हो रहा है, तो 10:10 माइनस 10 मीन्स व्हाट, 10 हो गया ना मिनट्स. अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
तो उस पे हम लोग ये मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं. दिस इज फॉर सेकेंड, एक्चुअली द रिजल्ट कम्स इन मिली सेकेंड्स, so we are just multiplying it with 1000 so that we get the data in terms of seconds. So this will give us the time. Now come to this. तो ये जो ऑपरेशन किया है ये किसने किया है, this is without numpy. Now if you want to, again this is giving us the starting time, then we are using a1 plus a2, this is using numpy. ये जो syntax है ये किसका है, numpy का. So after this if you write time and you try to see the time, so you will observe पहला वाला जो ऑपरेशन है उसने कितना लिया देखो, 185, and here you can see only 11, so that is the time difference. So even in terms of time, numpy is always much more efficient than the normal operation. कोई भी ऑपरेशन आप numpy की मदद से करोगे तो वो हमेशा आपको फास्टर रिजल्ट देगा और प्लस इट विल बी मोर मेमोरी एफिशिएंट एज वेल. Okay, so this is just to get an idea, like it is more efficient as compared to any other array type. Okay, Vijay, okay, Shikha?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Now, so here we have an array. Now, if you want to know what is the dimension of this array, so for dimension of the array, we have an inbuilt property. We can just write a dot ndim. This will tell us the dimension of the array. So here you can see this is our normal two-dimensional array. So you got the result as 2 in this case. So ये अगर मैं हटा दूं, so you'll get that dimension as 2. A dot item size. So what is a dot item size? Gives the size of each item, or one item I should say, item of array. किसी एक आइटम का साइज कितना है तो वो हमें मिलेगा a dot item size. In numpy we are always using a homogeneous collection. Like in list we were using heterogeneous collection. Here in numpy the array is always homogeneous. Whenever we are using the term array, you need to understand it is going to be homogeneous array. ठीक है, इसलिए हम आइटम साइज यूज कर सकते हैं. मतलब एक डेटा इंटीजर है, एक फ्लोट है, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Then a dot d type, this will give us the data type of the element. So here you can see why we are applying d type, because all the elements are of same type. अलग अलग data type नहीं ले सकते हैं. Then a dot size, this will tell us the total size of the array. Then a dot shape, so here the shape is 3 by 3, 3 rows 3 columns we have. Now consider this one. Here we have 1 2 3 4. Here you can see 4 rows are there. That is why you can see 4 rows and 3 columns. That is the result we are going to get. Now, there is an inbuilt method called as a dot reshape. Suppose you want to change the shape of this array. So for that you can, now here we need to take care of just one point, that see when you say 4 by 3 array. So 4 by 3 means 4 3 is 12. Total size is 12. So whatever array you are creating, that resultant set of elements must be 12. बस इतना आपको ध्यान रखना है. So here you are using 6 2. So 6 into 2 is 12. That is fine. आप 12 1 का सेट ले सकते हो, 3 4 का ले सकते हो. That is how you can reshape the array. So ओरिजिनल एरे ये है हमारा, और अभी हमने उसको रीशेप क्या कर दिया, 6 9 कहाँ से आ गया. कुछ एक सेल मिस हो गया बीच में. जस्ट मिनट. So let's say 1 2 3 4 rows and 3 columns. So this will be 12 elements, and here we are trying to reshape it. So here you can see this is 6 2. That means 6 rows and 2 columns. ऐसे आप reshape इसको कर सकते हैं. Now, यहाँ तक clear है शिखा and Vijay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are going to see an important concept, that is the slicing concept. Okay. So slicing के लिए, slicing हमने list में भी पढ़ा था ना, याद है आपको? You remember we studied list.
String में भी slice.
String में भी पढ़ा था, हाँ. List में भी रहता है ना slicing.
Yes, ma'am.
So first I will explain using one-dimensional array only. Let's say this is one array we have. Now I want to apply this slicing concept. So what is slicing? Slicing is basically I'm picking up some data from the given array. So what I'm going to do is I'll say A, and now you know, right, what is the index for the first one? It starts with 0. So directly if I write A0, I'll get the first element. If I write any particular index, I get the element located at that index. Now in Python we can apply the slicing concept. We can give the range of the elements. So I can say 0 colon, and I want the element up to say 5th element. So 0 1 2 3 4. This index is 4. So let me write 4 here. So what will happen? This is the index that you have mentioned here, that is always excluded. That is not covered. So what you get is 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. Up to 3 you will get. Fourth one will get excluded. Now, if you want the elements up to the end, so what you will do is just do not specify this one and run this. So what do you observe here? Starting from 0, you get all the elements. And similarly, skip this one. Both the ones you skip, you get all the elements. Otherwise, you can specify a specific range of elements. So this way we can apply the slicing concept. Okay. And we also know that this thing also allows us to have negative indexing. So if I write here -1, I'll get the element which is located at the end. The last element's index is -1. So it goes in this direction, -1, -2, -3 and so on. So I will say, okay, I want the last 3 elements. So how to get the last 3 elements? I'll say -3, 4, 1 minute. This is -1, -2, -3. So starting from -3, I want all the elements. So you can see I got all the elements. The last three elements we will get like this. Are you able to understand this, both of you?
Okay.
Okay, Shikha, okay? Then I'll go for two-dimensional if you are okay with one-dimensional. Okay? Yeah. So now come to this section. So now our array is a little bit bigger. Okay, let me. Now, first of all, let me just write here 0. So straight away you can see this is 1, 2, sorry, 0, 1, 2. It is very straightforward. So I'm writing A and then I'm writing 0. So what do you observe? You get the first row, which is very clear. Then if I write here, say 1, I'll get the second row. And if I write here 2, I'll get the third row. So this way you got the rows one by one. Now, come to this part. The moment you write A0, okay, so A0, I have already told you we are talking about the first. Now, from the first row, I am interested in this particular element or this element, or I want only the first and the second element. I don't want the last element. So what I'm going to do is you have to write here 0 colon, and you see the index 0, 1, 2. So I have told you that 2 is excluded. So if I write here 2, so what is the meaning? From the, we'll start with, let me just show it out. Okay, sorry. When you write like this, what is the meaning? Means this is the row index we are considering. So for the row index, what is happening here? 0th row, first row, and second is excluded. Okay, now if you want to get, means now let me have it like this only. This is my first row, comma. If I write 0 here, then what do you get? This is the element you're going to get. If you want to have these two elements, then what you want to write is colon 2. That means the first one is for the row. Let me write here. First one is for the row, comma, column. This is the syntax we're going to use. So here I am writing 0 colon 2. So 0, 1, 2 is excluded. So from the 0th row, give me the first and the second column only. So you got this data. If you want that from the first and the second row, give me the first and the second column. So here you will write like this. So this we have already seen 0 to 2. If I remove this to understand it better, we saw, right? This is going to give me the first and the second row. Then put a comma here. I want only the first set of elements. So just like write like this. So what do you get? This one and this one. If you want the range of elements, then you will write colon and then this one. समझ में आ रहा है विजय?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
ठीक है ना? थोड़ा इसको प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा तो ये समझ में आता है. जैसे अभी 2 डायमेंशनल है, फिर 3 डायमेंशनल है, तो थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स होता जाएगा. सो यू जस्ट नीड टू लिटिल बिट प्रैक्टिस इट. ओके, अब आपको सारे एलिमेंट्स चाहिए तो आप क्या लिखोगे? कोलन कोलन. So this will give you all the elements. Okay, सारे रोज और सारे कॉलम्स के लिए ऐसा लिखोगे आप. मतलब ये आपका पहला वाला जो स्लाइसिंग है वो रो स्लाइसिंग है. सो हियर इफ आई एम राइटिंग 1 colon 2, 2 is excluded, तो ये 1 वाला ही आ जाएगा. Similarly 1 colon 2 if I am writing, so again the middle one will come. So in this case I'll get the result as 22. Understood na?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so this way we can play around with it. So these are different examples we can use. Okay, now there is another method that we have that is called as line space method. What is line space method? Suppose I have a range given, that is first element. जैसे हमारा scale होता है ना, scale में हमारे पास एक particular bracket होता है. So we are having a bracket of 10 and 20. I want to divide this 10 and 20 in एक हमने देखा range method to generate numbers. A range method also we have seen to generate numbers. Similarly, if I want to, तो range method या A range method कैसे काम कर रहा है? It is generating the numbers depending on From 0 to, it is giving me the set of numbers. But what if I have the range given as 10 and 20, and I want to divide this 10 and 20 into 5 equal parts? Then we are using this linspace method. So here, if you observe, you can see 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20. So between 10, 20 inclusive, we have 5 different numbers. So beautiful thing is you can increase this to 50 or to 500 or to 5000. That is up to you. So this way you can get a set of numbers as per your need between this range. Okay. So this is linspace method. Now, suppose we want to do some mathematical operations. So here we have an array. Okay, first I will show you this one. So currently I am using two arrays which are of same size. Not size, size only, right? This is 3 by 2. This is also 3 by 2 array. 2 by 3, sorry, 2 by 3, 2 by 3. 2 rows, 3 elements, 2 rows and 3 elements we are using. And then we are performing a plus b, and then we'll try to print a plus b. So this is quite straightforward. So you can simply apply plus operator and perform the addition of the two. Let me refer to the slide, then I want to explain one more point. Item size, data type. I will be sharing this slide, so all the methods I have covered here. Slicing concept also I have explained. Okay, in NumPy there is a concept called as broadcasting. So what is broadcasting? There is a possibility that when I am trying to add two arrays, the two arrays may not be same size. Okay, so let me just have suppose this is one of my array, and the second array that I'm using is np.array, and here let me use 10, 20 and 30. So what do you observe? Normally, means from mathematics background, if you see this, first of all, it is not possible to add two arrays which do not match in their dimensions. If you check the shape, so if I say print a dot shape, and then if you print b dot shape, then you can observe the first one is 2 by 3 and the second one is only 3. But still we are able to perform the addition. This is because of the concept provided by NumPy that is called as broadcasting. Now what broadcasting will do, it will try to convert this array which matches to another array which matches the shape of this array. That means this data will get duplicated like this. It will internally do this mathematical calculation. So even if I take this, a little bit bigger array, so let me take it like this, 7, 8 and 9. Suppose I write it like this. So first let me show you the output. So you can see first array is 3 by 3, second one is 3. If you observe the output, what do you observe here? 10 plus what? 11, 20 plus 2, 22, 30 plus 3, 33. This is the result. Then again, take this data and add it to this one. What you get is 14, 25, 36. 14, 25, 36. Again this array and add this. You get 17, 28, 39. So this is the kind of addition we are doing. Correct? So that is because, as I said, internally what NumPy is doing, it is creating a replica like this. That is, this term is known as broadcasting. It is internally done by NumPy in order to facilitate this operation. If you see the result, oh, this bracket is missing. Okay. So the result is same. Got it? But earlier when I was using it like this, like a one-dimensional array only. Still I got the same result. So internally, the concept that is being implemented here is termed as broadcasting. And of course, there are certain rules for broadcasting. Blindly, you cannot take one array and another array of any size and try to apply the operation. No. There are certain rules for broadcasting, but internally, then afterwards, Python says, I will manage this, how it has to be done. So generally, this is the duplication of data that is done in order to match the dimension of the second array. Then if you want to go for multiplication, so we are simply writing C is equal to A multiplied by B. So if you print the result, this is for the this type of array we are using. So here the multiplication is being done. So again you can see broadcasting is being applied here. One-to-one multiplication is being done here. Okay. So here you can see 10. This 20 into 2 is 40. 3 into 30 is 90. Then 1 minute. Sorry, that was a mistake. Okay, I took the previous result. So if I rerun this program, this is the result we are getting. One-to-one multiplication is being done in this case. समझ में आया क्या ये वाला example विजय शिखा? This is simple one-to-one multiplication. Okay, this is not matrix multiplication, because for matrix multiplication the rule is little bit different. That
Yes,
we will see. That is also possible, but we will see that. But this is straightforward one-to-one multiplication. Every element is multiplied with its corresponding element. तो अगर ये आपका सिंगल होता तो यहाँ पे भी ब्रॉडकास्टिंग अप्लाई हो जाता. If this would have been like this, इधर हो गया ब्रॉडकास्टिंग, इधर भी वैसे हो गया. You'll get the same result. Okay, this 10, 20, 30 will be replicated and then it will be multiplied. Now next is dot product. So actually I had one slide where I had explained how to do. 1 minute, just give me a minute. This is the broadcasting concept I was explaining. See, this is the one. This is one row. So one row will be expanded like this, and then these two arrays are applied. Now, so these are some of the methods from NumPy which are for linear algebra. So we have dot product, v dot, inner, matmult. Matmult is matrix multiplication of two arrays. This is the actual one we have in mathematics. Okay. Then we have determinant, how to solve the linear algebra equation, and inverse. So first one is the dot product. How to calculate the dot product? If I have two matrices, okay. So this is the first matrice I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we are multiplying it with 11, 12, 13, 14. So how to do the matrix dot product? So 1 is being multiplied with 11. Means this first element is being multiplied over here, plus 2 into 13. Let me just write it in the notepad. So if I have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose this is my first matrix and it is being multiplied with say 10, 2, Let me take the same data, so we will be able to match it with our result. This is a bigger one, so let me take a smaller one. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second one we have, the second array that we have is 11, 12. And here we have 13 and 14. Okay, now we want to do the mathematical calculation. So what is done, this first row is multiplied with the first column. No, sorry, first row is multiplied with the first row itself. So this will be 1 into 11 plus 2 into 12. So you can see this 1 into 11. No, take it na, first row with first column with 13. Sorry. फर्स्ट रो इज बीइंग मल्टीप्लाइड विद द फर्स्ट कॉलम, उसके बाद फिर से फर्स्ट रो सेकेंड कॉलम से मल्टीप्लाई होगा, मीन्स 1 into 12 it is being multiplied with 2 into 14. Okay, then in the next case second row first column, second row second column, तो अब कैसा हो जाएगा 3 into 11 plus 4 into 13. So here we'll have 3 into 12 plus 4 into 14. तो अब आप इसको कैलकुलेट करोगे तो ये कितना हो जाएगा 11 plus, so this will be 26. So if you add this up you will get the result as 37. इसको आप ऐड करोगे तो 12 plus, यहाँ पे आ गया आपका 12 plus
28.
हाँ, तो वो ऐड करोगे तो कितना आ गया 40. तो ये हो गया डॉट प्रोडक्ट. Okay, so that this calculation also I have mentioned here how this is done. Then there is something called as v dot, vector dot product. So v dot कैसे निकालना है, सिंपल आपको सारे एलिमेंट्स वन ऑन वन मल्टीप्लाई करना है और सबको ऐड कर देना है. मतलब अगर इसमें ही, अगर इसी एग्जांपल में हमको v डॉट निकालना है तो 1 को 11 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है प्लस 2 को 12 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देना है, जिसका जो कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग एलिमेंट होता जाएगा 3 into 13 प्लस 4 into 14 और सबको ऐड कर दिया, तो ये आपका v डॉट कहलाता है. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट कौन सा है ये, इनर ऑपरेशन. इनर ऑपरेशन इज सिमिलर टू आई थिंक v डॉट ओनली. ये 1 2 3 हो गया 0 1, so equates to 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1 plus, हाँ ये v डॉट जैसा ही रहता है इनर. So this function returns inner product of vectors of 1D arrays. For higher dimension, it returns the sum product over the last axis. तो ये मैथमेटिकल मतलब ये ऑलमोस्ट v डॉट जैसा ही काम करेगा. हाँ, जैसा अभी मैंने आपको बताया 1 on 1 मल्टीप्लाई होकर उसका समेशन रिटर्न करेगा. Then this is inner product but for a bigger array. So this is 2-dimensional array, this is 2-dimensional array, and if you are calculating the inner product, तो अब ये कैसा करेगा 1 into 11 plus 2 into 12, 1 into 11 plus 2 into 12, 3 into 13, 4 into 14. कैसे है ना 3, एक मिनट, 1 into 11, 2 into 12, फिर 1 into, हाँ ओके, ये वाला इससे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, फिर से ये वाला इससे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, फिर 3 4 is being multiplied with the first and second, 3 4 is being multiplied with the पहले फर्स्ट वाले से फिर सेकंड वाले से. समझ में आ रहा है क्या ये कि करके दिखाऊं?
समझ रहा है.
समझ रहा है ना, ठीक है. तो दिस इज द इनर प्रोडक्ट यूज. नेक्स्ट इज मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन. तो मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन कैसा होता है, याद है क्या? अगर ये मुझे मल्टीप्लिकेशन करना है दोनों मैट्रिसेस का, तो हम कैसे करते हैं? फर्स्ट रो इज बीइंग मल्टीप्लाइड विद द फर्स्ट कॉलम।
ये भी तो सेम डॉट प्रोडक्ट जैसी होगा ना?
मल्टीप्लिकेशन में ना कुछ तो एक चीज हम देखते हैं, हाँ मतलब एक क्राइटेरिया रहता है कि इसका मतलब ये जो डायमेंशन है ना, इसका डायमेंशन क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, 2 क्रॉस 2 है ना, 2 by 2 का है ये, तो समझो ये 2 by 3 का होता, तो दूसरा वाला जो है वो 3 by 2 होना चाहिए मल्टीप्लिकेशन करते समय। याद आ रहा है? मतलब ये
ओके।
वाला फैक्टर और ये वाला फैक्टर मैच होना चाहिए मल्टीप्लिकेशन के समय, तो जो
हम्म।
रिजल्ट आता है वो 2 by 2 का आता है।
यस मैम।
ठीक है, तो
ओके।
रिजल्ट वो उसमें मल्टीप्लाई होके शॉर्ट हो जाता है, ऐड होके, ऐड अप होके। ये थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंसेस है, वेक्टर मल्टीप्लिकेशन में कुछ तो डायमेंशन का भी रहता होगा, वेक्टर डायमेंशन का भी, इसलिए सब अलग अलग मैथ्स में जैसा डिफाइन किया उन्होंने एज इट इज उसके लिए नमपाई के इक्विवेलेंट फंक्शंस डिफाइन किए। ठीक
यस।
है, ओके। सो दिस फॉर मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन, तो ये है। देन डिटर्मिनेंट फंक्शन, तो डिटर्मिनेंट कैसे निकालते हैं? अगर आपके पास 1 3 4 2 3 4 3 5 2 सपोज ऐसा है, तो आप मैट्रिक्स डिटर्मिनेंट कैसे निकालोगे? सबसे पहले इसको लेना है 1 into, फिर ये दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करना है, तो 3 2 6 माइनस 5 4 20, फिर नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट के लिए -2 इंटू, तो ये -2 हम ले रहे हैं, तो इसके लिए इसके रोज इसके एलिमेंट्स को छोड़ देना है, फिर ये दोनों और ये दोनों लेना, तो दिस विल बी 2 into 2 प्लस दिस इज सॉरी माइनस, हमेशा उसको माइनस में 3 4 12 प्लस 4 इंटू, अब 4 वाले कॉलम को छोड़ देना है, सो 2 5 10 माइनस 9, so that is how the determinant is calculated. Okay,
यस मैम।
शिखा, ओके आपको?
उनका एक सवाल है चैट में।
अच्छा, ये सब अप्लाई कहाँ होगा? ये सब मशीन लर्निंग में अप्लाई होगा शिखा। सर जो बता रहे हैं ना, ये इसके लिए एनालिसिस करने के लिए हमको ये करना पड़ेगा, वो करना पड़ेगा, दो वेरिएबल्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप देखना है, तो उसके लिए अप्लाई होता है इसे, तो ये पढ़ेंगे तब वो समझ में आएगा। ओके, प्रिसाइजली आई कैन नॉट से गिव यू एन एग्जांपल कि ये कहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, अप्लाई होगा, लेकिन आपने देखा होगा ना बहुत सारी जगह पे हमको 2 3 वेरिएबल्स दिए हुए हैं, उनके बीच में आपस में रिलेशनशिप कैसा है, वो प्रोपोर्शनल है या नहीं है, वो सब देखने के लिए हमको ये मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशन लगेंगे। कई बार 2 कॉलम है, 2 नहीं चाहिए मुझे, उनको मर्ज एक में करना है, देन वी विल अगेन हैव टू अप्लाई सम मैथमेटिकल ऑपरेशन टू मर्ज देम इनटू वन। ओके, जनरली जब न्यूमेरिकल डेटा आता है तब इसका ज्यादा रोल रहता है। मैथ्स पढ़ा नहीं मैट्रिक्स का, बस एप्लीकेशन नहीं, मैथ्स पता है ओके, बस एप्लीकेशन नहीं पता। ओके, ठीक है, इट विल बी अप्लाइड। ओके, ये सब लगता है पांडास में भी इंटरनली नमपाई ही यूज होता है, मीन्स पांडास लाइब्रेरी इज बिल्ट ऑन टॉप ऑफ नमपाई, दैट्स व्हाई pandas इज ऑल्सो इक्विवेलेंट, फास्ट भी है, मेमोरी एफिशिएंट भी है, तो बहुत सारी चीजें उसके अंदर जो कॉलम्स रहेंगे अगर न्यूमेरिक डेटा है तो उस पर हमको कई बार इसकी जरूरत पड़ती है अप्लाई करने की, दैट्स व्हाई दिस नॉलेज इज इम्पोर्टेंट। ओके, so this
शायद
was,
मैं लास्ट टाइम जब सर बता रहे थे तो वो बता रहे थे पिक्चर जैसा पिक्सल होता है हर एक पिक का,
हाँ हाँ,
उसको रेड्यूस करने में, उसको पिक्सल डेंसिटी वगैरह कैसा है वो सब कैलकुलेट करने में यूज होता है करके बोल रहे थे ये
अच्छा, ओके,
मैट्रिक्स।
हाँ हाँ, ये एक एप्लीकेशन हो सकता है, और भी मेरे समझ से बहुत सारे साइंटिफिक एरियाज है जो नंबर्स पे ही डील करते हैं, तो जहाँ से आप जो डेटा ले रहे हो, अभी जैसे कोरोना का ही है, इतना सारा जो डेटा आ रहा है, न्यूमेरिकल फिगर्स ही आ रहे हैं ना, तो उसको हमें स्टडी करना है, तो उस पर मैथमेटिकल ऑपरेशन करना ही पड़ेगा, So this is how it is done. Some of the operations will be used for calculating some relationship between the variables and analyzing. Okay, कहीं पे भी न्यूमेरिकल फॉर्मेट में डेटा आएगा ना, उसके लिए ये हमको लगेगा. ओके, सो देन कम्स द लीनियर अलजेब्रा पार्ट. तो ये देखो, अगर आपके पास एक लीनियर अलजेब्रा इस तरह से दिया, ये तो आपने देखा होगा, सॉल्व भी किया होगा मैथ्स में. तो अब इसको देखो, इसको मैट्रिक्स फॉर्मेट में हम कैसे लिखेंगे. इसका कोएफिशिएंट कितना हो गया, 1 1 1. सो हियर यू कैन सी 1 1 1. इधर आ जाएगा 2 5. सो x पैरामीटर इज 0 हियर, सो दिस विल बी 0 2 5. This is 2 5 minus 1, 2 5 minus 1. Now the variables that are being involved here are x, y and z is equal to, this part is termed as coefficient. So coefficient में 6 minus 4 27. तो इस फॉर्मेट में आपका आ गया. अब आपको ये जो इक्वेशन है ये सॉल्व करना है, और सॉल्व करके x, y और z की वैल्यू निकालनी है. वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द वैल्यूज ऑफ x, y and z फ्रॉम दिस equation. Okay, so how we are going to do this? So what we will do is, this particular thing is written in this format. इसको हम ऐसे लिखते हैं, x a into x is equal to b. So coming back, this matrix we will define it as a. ये अपना a matrix हो गया. ये आपका variable matrix है. Variable matrix is defined as capital X is equal to, ये आपका coefficient matrix है, इसको आप b बोल दो. समझ में आया ना? This is a x b. So here we are writing a into x is equal to b. Short में ऐसा लिखा. अब देखो आप, ये यहाँ पे multiply हो रहा है. So if you take it to the other side, if I want to write it like x is equal to, तो आपको a को क्या करना पड़ेगा? Here you will have to take it and you will have to write b divided by a. So when you write it b divided by a, means a is in the denominator. तो डिनोमिनेटर से उसको न्यूमरेटर में लाना है, तो आप कैसे लिखोगे? a इनवर्स a to the power -1. So here it is written as x is equal to a. ये ऐसा -1 लिखा है, बट आप समझ लो ये a इनवर्स लिखा है, a to the power -1 into b लिखा है. समझ में आया?
Yes,
ठीक है. तो अब एक्चुअल हमारा टारगेट क्या है? दिस इज वन मैट्रिक्स गिवन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द इनवर्स ऑफ दिस मैट्रिक्स and multiply this matrix with this matrix. When you multiply it, you will get this result of x, y and z. That is how it will be done. So how to do it? एक तो ये तरीका है, दो तरीके हैं एक्चुअली सॉल्व करने के. This is one of the technique. So how to do this? Again, NumPy provides us with a library called as linear algebra library, library. So here what we will do is np.array 1, 2, 3, 4. समझो ये हमारा ये वाला मैट्रिक्स है. This matrix is given. So this matrix is given. So first you are calculating the inverse. So how to calculate the inverse? np.linearalgebra.inverse of x. Simply you have to apply this inbuilt method. This will give you the inverse. So here y is actually the inverse of x. तो inverse है मतलब कैसे प्रूव होगा? अगर आप x और y को मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो आपको 1 मिलना चाहिए. So if you apply np dot product with x and y, you should get the result as 1. तो दिख रहा है यहाँ पे 1 1 मिल रहा है आपको. So this is like 1.11 e to the power -16. So this is very close to 0. ये actually high precision data देता है ना. तो ये to the power -16 is like almost near to 0. तो इसलिए इसको 0 ही समझो आप. So diagonal matrix is 1. When your diagonal matrix is 1 and remaining elements are 0, it is called as identity matrix. That is how linear algebra is, inverse is calculated. So for this particular given equation, first we have to calculate the inverse of a. So here you can see, so I should have it somewhere. So np dot, हाँ एक तो ये तरीका है कि पहले आप इनवर्स निकालो और फिर मल्टीप्लिकेशन कर दो. सॉल्व लीनियर अलजेब्रा डॉट सॉल्व a कॉमा b. सिंपली ये भी एक मेथड है. a और b को पास कर दो तो भी वो सॉल्व करके आपको x, y और z की वैल्यू निकाल कर दे देगा. ओके, सो लेट मी जस्ट चेक इफ आई हैव इट विद मी. This is the one I was explaining. Suppose you have a determinant given. If you have to calculate the inverse, so you write np.linearalgebra.inverse method. So you get the inverse. Now if you apply matrix multiplication A comma A inverse, you multiply the two, you will get the identity matrix. Now there is one ये देखो 111025, ये हमारे स्लाइड में जो एग्जांपल है वही लिया है ना, 111025 25 minus 1, 25 minus 25 minus 1, right? This is the same thing. So this is the first array, we call this as A. Then there is a second array called B. अगर ये आपको solve करना है तो linear algebra में straightforward method है np.linearalgebra.solve A comma B. So we can solve this and you get the result as 5, 3, minus 2. That means x value is 5, y value is 3 and z value is minus 2. Now, if you want to save this array in the form of text file, then you have this array. So what you have to do is np.savetxt, specify the name of the text file and pass this array. So this is one inbuilt method that will straightforward save your data to the file. Then np.loadtxt, this is to retrieve. Okay, you may run this now. np is not defined, so np running is. So this is to save the data in the form of a text file, and then you can retrieve this data by using this method np.loadtxt from this my file. तो ये फाइल से रीड करके रिक्रिएट करता है एरे को और आपको एरे मिल जाता है स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. दिस पार्ट इज ओके? शिखा एंड विजय, हेलो हेलो. Screen is not shared. Okay. Sorry, huh? Vijay, आवाज में Vijay is not there in the meeting. I can't see the chat window. What's happening? He's not there. Oh, he left the meeting, I guess. Okay, no problem. Anyways, recording is going on. So I'll just revisit. This part you were not able to see, right? Shikha, linear algebra. See, this is the array we had taken, right? Okay, so this is the array we have. A array, B array is the coefficient array. If you want to solve this, so np.linearalgebra.solve A comma B. So here we got to say print x, we get this later. Now if you want to load the text file, so np.loadtxt, this is my file.txt. This will save the given array. Means first of all, load, no, not load. First we have to save the text file. This is an array given. If you want to save this array to the file, then np.savetxt, specify the name of the text file and pass this array as a parameter. So this will save the array into the text file. Then if you want to load it back, you have to write np.loadtxt and you will retrieve the array. Now, if you want to, you have two different arrays. You want to merge them together. So that is, and save it in the form of one single file, one file with two arrays. So we use this np.savez. So here we want to save it in the form of zipped, means we are zipping the two files. So A and B we zip together. So np.savez. So we this is सब कुछ तो extension हम देंगे, zip होगा, वो दोनों फाइल merge हो जाएगा. So now if you want to load it back, always remember there is a method called as np.load and you specify the name of the file. This is to retrieve the file. तो ये देखो, ये दोनों फाइल को सेव किया, किस नाम से सेव होगा ये? np.archive. अगर आप देखोगे डाउनलोड सेक्शन में, so you can see this file has been recently created. या अभी बन गई ये फाइल. You can't open it directly because the extension is not supported. Now if you just load it, the array will get loaded here, and this variable has got two arrays, A and B. So if you want to see a specific array, you have to write ARR and then specify which array you want. अभी ये A नहीं, B नहीं चाहिए, मुझे A चाहिए, आप ऐसा लिखोगे. So you'll get the A array. Now this was only zipping, means we were just combining the two arrays. We want to zip plus we want to compress them also. So that is why np.savez_compressed. यही चीज ये विजय बता रहा था ना कि अगर आपके पास डेटा है जो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा है, so you may compress and zip them together using this technique. So np.savez_compressed, specify the name of the file, and these are the two arrays. So zip भी करेगा, compress भी करेगा. So size advantage will be getting. And once this is created, you can get it back by using the same method, that is load method. Is that clear, Shikha? So I think Vijay is not able to connect. So we'll stop here for today. Tomorrow we'll continue at the same time and we'll see the pandas concept. All right? Okay, Shikha? Okay. Yeah. So I shall end the meeting here. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.